would, give him a huge, huge warm welcome. Rabbi.
I'd just like to see a show of hands. How many people have been through a near-death experience? How many people have been through a near-death experience and didn't live? Yeah, you always get a few in the audience, okay. How many people been through experience, they thought their business was going to close down, there's no way they're going to make it, and live to tell the story? Wow. There is no joy like you can experience walking off a plane that nearly crashed, walking out of a car that was totaled. That joy is indescribable. My mother always tells a story about when she was a little girl in London during the war. And the Germans developed the first Scud missile. It was called the Doodlebug as a nickname. It was called, literally, the technical name was a V1. And it was time to fly over London, and the engine would cut out, and it was loaded with ammunition and everything. And you heard it coming and had a very distinctive sound, and everyone who heard it just froze because they knew what was coming. There was no way to defend yourself against it. But the scary part was when the engine cut out, and you knew you had about 3 seconds whether you're going to live or you could die. And then you'd hear this boom, and you knew you were okay. And the joy you'd feel from that experience, this is a quote from Malcolm Gladwell of someone who went through that experience. It seems a terrible thing to say when so many people were killed and injured last night, but never in my whole life have I ever experienced such pure and flawless happiness. Winston Churchill himself said, "Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot at without result." That feeling of nearly dying cannot be replicated in anything we do. There is nothing you can buy, there is nothing you can do. And the question is, what is that joy and how do we get it without having to actually die? The feeling of nearly dying is an incredible experience. It's not too dissimilar from this experience. It's very similar. And what exactly is the experience? You see, people think in the Western world, and it's a huge mistake, that we are born unhappy and that we have to make ourselves happy. And this creates a therapy, a psychosis that is very, very difficult to treat, and it never actually works. If any one of us had a life that I'm going to now describe, you'd probably be suicidal. This is my life. Everything in my life is controlled when I get up and when I go to bed. I can't eat what I want. All my friends are vetted, same as books, TV, and the internet. My phone calls are monitored and my clothes are picked out for me. My opinion is rarely taken into consideration. Even going to the bathroom is scrutinized. I'm literally never left alone for a single moment. I think if anyone knew anyone like that, you probably counsel them in some sort of abuse case, maybe call the police. This would be very depressing. I don't think anybody in this room experiencing this kind of oppression. And if they did, you'll be very, very depressed. Like the previous speaker was talking about, you get caught with someone who goes on about their problems. And some people have got some of these kinds of problems, but very few people have all of these problems. And yet, this is the life of the average 5-year-old. We have more time, more money, more access, more ideas, more wisdom, more concepts, more everything in life than the average 5-year-old, except for one thing, the only thing that counts for anything, and that is the joy of life. Without coming to any Gazelle's program or listening to Tony Robbins' tapes or reading Dale Carnegie's books, a 5-year-old is filled with the enthusiasm of existence. Where on earth do they get it from? And it's a very old Jewish idea. We are not born miserable and have to make ourselves happy. It is quite the opposite, and a 5-year-old proves it. We are born ecstatic, and we make ourselves miserable. Nothing personal, I do it myself. But that's what we do. And if you would just stop making yourself miserable for one instant, you would feel the ecstasy of life. And that's what I'm going to teach you to do right now. In 1 minute, 30 seconds, that's all I got left. We are ecstatic and we make ourselves miserable. When do you stop doing that? The moment you walk off a plane that nearly crashed. We also do it on the day we get married. Not because we don't have any problems, not because we realize the joy of life, because we realize that our problems don't add up to a hill of beans. When you walk off that plane, you know you have problems. When you get married, you still have problems, but you don't let it get to you. And that's what a 5-year-old has. He doesn't let it get to them. And we are letting our problems get to us. I'm not going to solve your problems, but I'm going to help you realize they aren't worth it. You're going to have problems today, and you're going to solve those problems, and you're going to have problems tomorrow. And unless you figure out how to let them go, you're going to keep having those problems, and you're going to stay as miserable as you are now. Nothing personal, but I do the same thing. We have to learn 3 words, and I want everyone to repeat these 3 words after me. L-I-G. Let it. Everybody, let it go. Do they have earthquakes in Atlanta? No, I was living in Los Angeles for 5 years. They have earthquakes there. Let's see if we can give Atlanta an earthquake. I'd like everybody to rise up, please. Okay, everybody, 1 word. Let it go. Okay, all together now. Let's shake this building up. Let it go. Okay, I want you to think about the problems you have in life. I want you to think about that day you walked off a plane, that day you got out that near-death experience, that day you walked out of that business deal that saved your company, and how you felt. And I want you to think about those problems in one hand, and I want you to think about letting it go in the other hand. And we're going to let it go. Everyone together now. Let it go. Oh, come on, guys. Okay, I'm going to give you another shot to save yourselves and not embarrass Vern in public. Ready? Let it go. Come on, this is a football game. We just got a touchdown. We're going to the playoffs. I don't play football, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. Everybody, jump up and down. Let it go. Last time. Let it go. Thank you very much.